Drive past any car dealership right now and you'll see something absolutely insane. Rows and rows of brand new electric SUVs and sedans just sitting there gathering dust with no buyers. These aren't supply chain holdovers. These are 2026 models that dealerships physically cannot sell at any price. Today, we're exposing the 5 electric vehicles rotting on dealer lots based on market day supply data, and number 1 has been sitting unsold for over 400 days. That's catastrophic. Let's count them down. Starting at number 5, the Nissan Ariya is sitting at 178 days of market day supply. That means current inventory would take nearly 6 months to sell at the current pace. Approximately 8,400 of these are parked across American dealerships, with an average transaction price of $52,300. For context, anything above 60 days is considered excessive inventory. At 178 days, this is a genuine disaster. Here's the core problem with the Ariya. Nissan spent a decade building credibility with the Leaf as the affordable, reliable EV option. Then they launched the Ariya at a price point that completely abandoned that audience. The base Engage trim starts at $43,190 before destination, but nobody's buying that one because it only delivers 216 miles of range and front-wheel drive. To get the configuration most people actually want, the Venture Plus AWD with 304 miles of range, you're paying $58,950. That's Honda Pilot touring money. That's Mazda CX-90 territory. That's nearly loaded Toyota Highlander hybrid pricing. And what are you getting for that near $60,000 investment? A vehicle with software that owners are describing as genuinely frustrating to use daily. The ProPilot Assist 2.0 system, Nissan's flagship driver assistance feature, has a documented habit of phantom braking on highways. We're talking sudden deceleration events on clear roads that terrify passengers and make owners disable the system entirely. Vancouver Ariya owner Michael Chen documented it. "I was driving Highway 1 at 110 kilometers per hour. Clear conditions, no traffic. The Ariya suddenly emergency braked down to 85 kilometers per hour for absolutely no reason. My wife screamed. The car behind me nearly hit us. It turned ProPilot off permanently." The infotainment system is a dual-screen setup that looks impressive in photos, but operates like it's processing through dial-up internet. Calgary automotive journalist Sarah Williams tested it for 2 weeks. Menu lag is genuinely unacceptable for a $55,000 vehicle. Press the climate control button and wait 2 full seconds for the menu to appear. The navigation takes 30 seconds to boot up from a cold start. My 2019 Honda Civic is more responsive, but here's what's actually killing Ariya sales in the current market. Nissan dealers are sitting on massive inventory while simultaneously refusing to discount aggressively. Manufacturers offering modest incentives, maybe $2,000 to $3,000 off MSRP, but that doesn't move the needle when comparable vehicles are available for $8,000 to $12,000 less. Toronto Nissan dealer Robert Martinez confirmed it. "We have 14 Ariyas on our lot. Corporate keeps saying hold pricing, but customers walk across the street to the Hyundai dealer and buy an Ioniq 5 for $7,000 less with better software, better charging speed, and a 5-year warranty that doesn't require fighting Nissan's service department." And let's address that warranty situation because it matters. Nissan's reputation for honoring EV warranty claims has become genuinely problematic. Multiple owner forums document cases where battery degradation claims were denied, despite falling below the 70% state of health threshold that should trigger replacement under warranty. One owner in Arizona documented 68% battery health at 45,000 miles. Nissan's response? Claim denied because the degradation was attributed to environmental conditions and charging habits, which they argued wasn't covered. The owner hired a lawyer. That story spreads fast. At 178 days of supply, with minimal discounting and growing reputation issues, the Ariya represents everything wrong. With legacy automakers entering the EV market, they're charging premium prices for mediocre execution, while Chinese competitors are delivering superior products for less money. Buyers are voting with their wallets by simply walking away. At number 4, the Ford Mustang Mach-E is sitting at 194 days of market day supply. Over 11,200 of them are gathering dust across Ford dealerships with an average price of $54,800. This one stings because the Mach-E was supposed to be Ford's electric future, the vehicle that proved Ford could compete with Tesla on technology while leveraging the Mustang heritage for instant credibility. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale about rushing products to market before they're ready. The biggest issue destroying Mach-E sales is the completely unacceptable charging experience. The Mach-E uses a 400-volt architecture in a market that has moved to 800-volt systems. That architectural decision means charging speeds that feel genuinely obsolete in 2026. On a 150 kilowatt DC fast charger, the Mach-E takes approximately 38 minutes to charge from 10 to 80% under perfect conditions. The Hyundai Ioniq 5, 18 minutes. The Kia EV6, 18 minutes. The Genesis G560, 18 minutes. Montreal Mach-E owner Jennifer Park described the real-world impact. "We took a road trip from Montreal to Toronto. The Ioniq 5 we were traveling with charged twice in the time it took us to charge once. They waited 20 minutes for us at the second stop. It's legitimately embarrassing to own this car on road trips now, but the charging speed is just the beginning of the Mach-E's problems. The infotainment system running Ford's Sync 4A software has developed a reputation for catastrophic failures that brick the entire vehicle. And I'm not exaggerating the severity. We're talking complete system crashes that disable climate control, navigation, phone connectivity, and critically, the ability to see your speed, because there is no traditional instrument cluster. Everything runs through that center screen." Calgary technology consultant Michael Santos documented his experience. "I was driving to a client meeting. The screen froze completely, showing the Ford logo. No speed display, no warning lights, nothing. I had to estimate my speed by watching traffic around me. Pulled over, tried every reset procedure. Nothing worked. Had to get towed to the dealer. They kept it 4 days waiting for a software update authorization from Ford Corporate. This is a $58,000 vehicle that stranded me because of a screen crash." The Ford dealer service experience has become genuinely adversarial for Mach-E owners. Multiple documented cases show dealers refusing warranty coverage for infotainment failures, claiming their software issues not covered under the bumper-to-bumper warranty. Owners are forced to escalate to Ford customer service, file complaints with state consumer protection agencies, or hire lawyers. Vancouver consumer protection attorney Sarah Chen has taken on 3 Mach-E cases in the last 6 months. Ford's warranty denial strategy appears systematic. They're betting most owners will give up rather than fight, but the word is spreading fast. And here's the detail that's particularly damaging for Ford's EV credibility. The Mach-E was supposed to showcase Ford's superior build quality compared to Tesla. Instead, owners are reporting panel gap issues, wind noise from poorly sealed doors, and interior rattles that develop within the first 10,000 miles. Toronto Mach-E owner Robert Martinez traded his in after 18 months. The passenger door whistle at highway speeds was maddening. The dealer adjusted the door seals 3 times. Never fixed it. "I bought a Tesla Model Y. The build quality is genuinely better despite all the jokes about Tesla quality. That's humiliating for Ford." At 194 days of supply, the Mach-E proves that borrowing the Mustang name doesn't automatically create desirable electric vehicles. Ford needed to deliver on execution. They didn't. Now they're paying for it with inventory piling up and no clear path to moving it. If you're finding this market data valuable and want to avoid making a $55,000 mistake, smash that subscribe button right now. We're exposing which EVs are financial disasters before you waste your money. Now let's continue with number 3, and this one's going to shock you. Number 3 is the Chevrolet Blazer EV at 217 days of market day supply. Approximately 9,800 of these are sitting unsold across Chevy dealerships with an average transaction price of $56,700. The Blazer EV should have been a home run for Chevrolet. It sits in the hottest segment in America, the midsize electric SUV category. It carries recognizable Blazer branding. It has GM's Ultium battery platform that's supposed to be their technological advantage. Instead, it's become one of the most spectacularly botched EV launches in recent automotive history. The disaster started before the first customer delivery even happened. In December 2023, literally weeks before the planned launch, GM issued a stop sale order halting all Blazer EV deliveries because the software was so fundamentally broken it made the vehicles unsafe to sell. We're not talking about minor bugs. We're talking about complete loss of propulsion while driving, infotainment screens going completely black and unresponsive, and charging failures that left vehicles stranded with full batteries they couldn't access. When deliveries finally resumed months later, the problems didn't stop, they got worse. Calgary early adopter Michael Chen bought one of the first Blazer EVs delivered in Canada. Within 200 kilometers, the infotainment crashed and wouldn't reboot. Took it to the dealer. They had to replace the entire infotainment module. 2 weeks later, I got a low voltage battery warning. The 12-volt battery failed completely at 800 kilometers. Had to get towed. The dealer kept it 5 days ordering parts. But here's where the Blazer EV story becomes genuinely infuriating for owners. GM has issued recall after recall attempting to fix software issues, but each update seems to create new problems. One recall addressed the propulsion loss issue. The updated software then caused charging problems. The charging fix caused battery management errors. Toronto Blazer owner Sarah Williams documented 7 separate service visits in 9 months of ownership. Every time they fix something with a software update, something else breaks. I've lost count of how many loaners I've had. This is supposed to be a $60,000 premium electric SUV. It drives like a beta test prototype. The battery performance has become particularly controversial. GM advertises up to 320 miles of range for the Blazer EV2 LT with the larger battery. Real-world owners are reporting significantly lower numbers even in moderate weather. Vancouver owner Robert Martinez tracks every charge. I've never achieved more than 270 miles of actual range in summer temperatures but with conservative driving. In winter, it drops to 190 to 210 miles. That's a 40% shortfall from EPA estimates. My previous Tesla Model Y came within 5% of its EPA rating. GM's dealer network has made the situation worse by being completely unprepared for EV service. Multiple documented cases show Blazer EV owners waiting weeks for service appointments because dealers don't have certified EV technicians available. One owner in Michigan waited 23 days for a service appointment for a check engine light. The vehicle sat in their driveway unusable because GM's software locked it into service mode and disabled normal operation. When the service finally happened, software update that took 45 minutes and could have been done remotely if GM had implemented proper over-the-air capabilities. And the pricing strategy has been genuinely insulting to consumers. The Blazer EV launched with sky-high pricing, some dealers adding $10,000 market adjustments, creating immediate negative sentiment. Now with inventory piling up, GM is offering massive incentives, sometimes $8,000 to $12,000 in combined manufacturer and dealer discounts. That's great for new buyers but catastrophic for anyone who paid full price 6 months ago. Their resale values have been destroyed. Toronto dealer data shows 2024 Blazer EVs with 15,000 kilometers selling for $42,000 to $45,000. Original owners paid $62,000 to $65,000. That's a 30% value loss in under a year. At 217 days of supply with ongoing quality issues and toxic owner sentiment, the Blazer EV represents GM's inability to execute on electric vehicles despite massive investment. The Ultium platform was supposed to be their competitive advantage. Instead, it's becoming their biggest liability. At number 2, the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV is sitting at a genuinely shocking 298 days of market day supply. That's nearly 10 months. Approximately 3,200 of these are parked at Mercedes dealerships across America with an average transaction price of $126,500. This is supposed to be Mercedes' electric flagship, the pinnacle of their EV engineering. The vehicle that proves German luxury can dominate the electric future. Instead, it's experiencing depreciation so catastrophic that buying one new is genuinely financial malpractice. Here's the brutal math that's destroying EQS SUV sales. A brand new 2026 EQS 450 SUV starts at $105,550 before options. Realistically configured with the features buyers at this price point expect, you're at $120,000 to $135,000. Meanwhile, 2023 EQS SUVs with 25,000 to 35,000 miles are selling for $62,000 to $68,000. That's a 48 to 52% value collapse in just 2 to 3 years. Vancouver luxury car dealer Michael Park described the situation. We had a customer trade in a 2023 EQS SUV 580 with 18,000 miles. He paid $142,000 new. We offered him $67,000. He was genuinely shocked. But that's the market. Nobody wants these used at any reasonable price. Why is depreciation so extreme? Because the EQS SUV delivers a luxury experience that feels genuinely dated compared to vehicles costing half as much. The hyperscreen infotainment system that Mercedes marketed as revolutionary, it's laggy, unintuitive, and frustrating to use daily according to actual owners. Calgary EQS SUV owner Sarah Williams compared it to her previous vehicles. I owned a 2021 Tesla Model X and a 2024 BMW iX. The EQS hyperscreen is objectively worse than both. Simple functions require navigating through multiple menus. The voice commands misunderstand basic requests. And there's this bizarre haptic feedback that vibrates the entire screen when you touch anything. It's annoying, not premium. The ride quality has become genuinely controversial for a vehicle at this price point. The EQS SUV uses air suspension that's supposed to deliver magic carpet comfort. Instead, owners report a floaty, disconnected feeling that makes the vehicle feel ponderous and imprecise. Toronto automotive journalist Robert Martinez tested one for a week. The EQS SUV never feels settled. It wallows over bumps, floats through corners, and gives you zero confidence in spirited driving. My wife's Lexus RX feels more composed and costs $60,000 less. But the absolute killer for EQS SUV sales is the charging infrastructure reality that Mercedes owners discover too late. The EQS SUV uses a 400-volt architecture with peak charging speeds around 200 kilowatts under perfect conditions. That sounds adequate until you compare it to the 800-volt Hyundai Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, Genesis G560, and Porsche Taycan, achieving 235 kilowatts sustained charging. Real-world charging times are disappointing for a $125,000 flagship. Montreal EQS owner Jennifer Chen documented a road trip. "We stopped at an Electrify America station. The charger displayed 198 kilowatts peak, but averaged 140 kilowatts throughout the session. It took 42 minutes to charge from 12 to 80%. The Porsche Taycan next to us finished in 23 minutes. That's humiliating." Mercedes dealer service network has proven completely unprepared for EV ownership issues. Multiple documented cases show EQS SUV owners waiting weeks for service appointments for relatively minor issues because dealers don't stock parts or have trained EV technicians. One owner in California waited 19 days for a door handle sensor replacement because the part wasn't in stock domestically. Vancouver owner Sarah Martinez described her experience. "The charging port failed to unlock after a DC fast charge session. The car wouldn't release the cable. Called Mercedes roadside assistance. They couldn't help. Had to wait at the charging station for 4 hours until a mobile technician arrived from 80 kilometers away. In a $130,000 vehicle, that's unacceptable." At 298 days of supply, with values collapsing and buyer confidence destroyed, the EQS SUV proves that Mercedes' electric vehicle strategy is fundamentally broken. They're charging astronomical prices for execution that can't compete with vehicles costing half as much. The market is responding by refusing to buy them. And now we've arrived at number 1, the absolute disaster scenario, the Volkswagen ID.4 at 447 days of market day supply. That is over 14 months of current inventory. Approximately 26,300 of these are sitting on dealer lots across America with an average price of $48,900. This is genuinely catastrophic. This represents a complete collapse of buyer confidence in Volkswagen's electric vehicle program. The core issue destroying ID.4 sales is the 12-volt battery failure epidemic that has turned this vehicle into a reliability nightmare. Despite having an 82 kilowatt-hour high-voltage battery pack, the ID.4 relies on a conventional flooded lead-acid 12-volt battery to power critical systems including the infotainment, door locks, and the contactors that engage the main battery. The problem? The car frequently fails to charge this 12-volt battery from the main pack. Calgary ID.4 owner Michael Santos woke up to a completely dead vehicle. The main battery showed 76% charge on the app, but the car was completely dead. Couldn't unlock it with the key fob. Couldn't unlock it with the app. Had to call VW roadside assistance. They jumped the 12-volt battery. I drove it to the dealer. They said this is a known issue. They replaced the 12-volt battery. 3 months later, same problem. I traded it in. The software situation is even worse. Volkswagen declared software version 3.x end of life for ID.4 models manufactured before mid-2023. If you bought a 2022 or early 2023 ID.4, you are permanently stuck on outdated software because the hardware cannot run the newer versions. Toronto. VW dealer Robert Park explained the damage. "We have customers who bought 2022 ID.4s for $52,000. 2 years later, Volkswagen tells them their vehicle is technologically obsolete with no upgrade path. Those customers will never buy another VW product, and they're telling everyone they know." The infotainment hardware is genuinely unacceptable for a $50,000 vehicle in 2026. Owners describe typing lag so severe that letters appear on the navigation screen multiple seconds after pressing the keyboard. Critical functions like disabling parking sensors are buried in slow-loading submenus that take 15 to 20 seconds to navigate. The volume and temperature controls aren't backlit, meaning you're fumbling in the dark during night driving. Vancouver automotive journalist Sarah Chen tested it. The ID.4 infotainment feels like using a $150 Android tablet from 2015. Every input has noticeable lag. Apps crash randomly. It's genuinely the worst software experience in any vehicle I've tested at any price point. Volkswagen's response to these widespread issues has been to blame customers. Service advisors tell owners the 12-volt battery failures are due to parasitic drain from aftermarket accessories, even when no accessories are installed. Software complaints are dismissed as user error or expectations misalignment. Montreal ID.4 owner Jennifer Williams documented her experience. "I brought it in for the fourth 12-volt battery failure. The service advisor told me I need to drive it more often to keep the battery charged. I drive 80 kilometers daily. He had no answer for that. Just shrugged and charged me $240 for the replacement battery because it was outside warranty." At 447 days of market day supply, the ID.4 represents the single biggest inventory disaster in the American EV market. Volkswagen destroyed early adopter trust, failed to deliver competitive software, and created a vehicle with fundamental reliability issues that make it nearly impossible to recommend. Current owners aren't recommending it. The automotive media has turned against it, and the numbers prove nobody wants it. These 5 electric vehicles prove that the EV transition isn't automatic success. You need competitive charging speeds, reliable software, strong dealer networks, and pricing that reflects actual value. When manufacturers fail on execution, inventory piles up and nobody buys them regardless of incentives. Which one shocked you most? Drop it in the comments. And if this saved you from making a $50,000 mistake, smash that subscribe button. We're here to tell you the truth about which EVs are worth your money. Thanks for watching.